Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Welcome, race fans, to round 4 of the SimRacingMania BTCC championship, where we have Andrew and Jack competing, and Colin is here this time. However, he's got a new nickname today. We're calling him Nick. So if you hear us say Nick, we're actually talking about Colin. Just for those that are listening. We're just getting ready to do qualifying here, but first off, we'd like to thank our sponsors, the FN40s podcast. Howard, you let us know about them.
Yeah, FN40s. They're on all your favorite podcast broadcasters, I believe, and of course you can find them on Facebook. That's 5Fs, IN, and 40s numbers and S. Those guys are awesome. They broadcast live out of the Blind Beggar here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, Earth, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Great mix of local personalities, business owners, entrepreneurs, and all around awesome people. And then I'm usually a musical guest as well. So if you guys are listening, we love you. Thank you so much for sponsoring us. We also sponsored their podcast, so I guess that shows how awesome we think they are. We all love racing, and of course, if anybody was watching F1, that's going to be our question for today. Is Lewis at fault? Yes or no? So send us in a comment on YouTube or our Facebook or wherever we have this posted. Hey, race fans, we love you. We also wanted to mention, and we've mentioned him before, but all around good dude, awesome community member of ours, and a great race coach and racer. Nick Toe is in the house. Yeah, if we are talking about Colin, for those of you out there, and we call him Nick, we're not meaning to abuse the fact that Nick Toe is also in the house. So we hope you guys are excited for our next race coming up today at Snetterton Circuit. I'll let Rick give you the details. But thanks for watching as always, and we are excited to be in the rain at Snetterton today, and we're under a cloud of wildfire smoke from the fires burning everywhere here in Canada, Western Canada. So shout out to everyone, all the first responders who are working on that. You guys take care of yourselves, be safe, and help us get some clear skies again.
Awesome, well said. Okay, so as Howard said, we're racing at Snetterton Circuit out in Norwich, England. This track, it has had many changes in the last 70 years that it's been around. It first started doing car racing in 1953. It's been used as F1 test circuit for the Lotus team back in the 70s or 80s, I think. There is 3 layouts. They call it the 100, the 200, and the 300. The 100 is like a short little circuit, kind of like Brands Hatch. The 200 circuit, kinda. I wouldn't even show a picture of it because it's kinda PG, like 18. And then we're racing at the 300 circuit today, which is going to be a lot of fun as Jack comes around the first corner on his, I think it's his second lap of qualifying, or his first lap of qualifying. But you can see the dry line starting to wear out there. We do have a little bit of rain. Yeah, we do have a little bit of rain today, if I can find all my stuff. So right now we're sitting at 9% rain, and the track is 97% wet. That has changed probably 10 times in the last 15 minutes while I've been watching the practice. So who knows what race one's going to have out there. But it is a 4.8 kilometer track, which is very long. These guys are doing, in the dry, they're doing about 1 minute 54 second lap times in these cars. Right now they're doing about 2:07s in the rain. So that just goes to show you the difference this track has been compared to the last few tracks where their lap times have been around the 120s and stuff like that. You have something to say, but looks of it. What's up?
Yeah, I'm like jumping up and down here, man. For everyone out there, Rick has been an awesome member of our team, and certainly is the reason why our streams are getting better and have been so good. I'm giving him today from TRACKSVR. We just got some new stuff in. Oh, there it is. Look at that. Because he loves the design and logo of the AlphaTauri. So here you go, Rick. That's for being an all-around awesome dude. That's going to help you make notes and stuff and whatnot. So yeah, there we go. Do the unveiling, the unboxing as they call it. Yeah, the unbagging. Yeah. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Show the folks. So that's from TRACKSVR to you, Rick, for all the hard work that you've done for us. We appreciate it, and we hope you can do better work.
So hey, I'm all for it. That'll be great. But yeah, this band that keeps everything closed is like, it says AlphaTauri on it, which is awesome, and then the embossed logo just makes it even better. So I will be able to take lots of notes for streams or anything else that goes on during the work week. So I will hopefully never not be unorganized.
So you know, guys, you know that I talk about this a lot about our athletes, but behind the scenes, you know, we work pretty hard to put this on. So show us some love, show us some appreciation, even if you're watching this later. After live broadcast, put up some comments on the YouTube or on our Facebook. We love to hear from you. We love your feedback. And obviously, we love Rick because he's the stream master. There we go, some rabbit ears for Rick. All right, I'm gonna go get out into the pits and see how these guys are doing and whether they're ready to go. And I'll join you live here in a moment.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, Howard. That is very, very nice of you. Totally unexpected, like I said. Best notebook ever. All right, so we're in qualifying. Obviously, we got a couple laps left here. Awesome. Just getting our walkie-talkies all set up.
We use real high-end technology to communicate with each other.
Because for whatever reason, I can't hear him through my headset, but he can hear me through his headset, which, I mean, is good for him, not so good for me. And I've been working around trying to figure that out, and I might have figured something out, but I don't want to try it just in case it screws up our audio system here. So right now, as it stands, track is 97% wet. Like I said, you can see the dry line really starting to pull out there. However, I don't know what the race is actually going to be, if it's going to start raining harder or what, I don't know. As for... there's lap times all over the place, so I don't know what's going on in the live timing here. I'm gonna have to reload this just because things are all over the freaking place. Yeah, they're still all over the place. Okay, so I'm gonna say it looks like there's only about one more lap of quali left if people want to get it in. So we're gonna go over where everybody's sitting. Looks like we have Jack and Nick, P12, P13 provisionally right now, and we got Andrew up in P6 provisionally at the moment. So overall, that's actually not too bad. We do only have 24 drivers here this week, unlike the last couple rounds that we've been watching, where there's been around 30 cars per race. I did check the Discord before I come in, and there was about 5 or 6 people that were saying that they couldn't come in or make it to the race, which I mean is totally fine. I don't know what kind of holidays they have over in Europe, especially during the week, even though it's Tuesday. Who knows? But what we can say is our drivers are going to be pushing hard to really get some good times in there. Let's go. I'm going to go to point standings here for a second. So there was a whole bunch of penalties put out like yesterday or the day before they got announced from last week's race. So the points leader that we all thought was the points leader after last round was Emmanuel Lopez. He got a 20-second time penalty in race 1 of last round, and a 2-place grid penalty for race 1 of this round today. And then in race 2 and race 3, he got a 3-place grid penalty in both of those. So he's got an 8-place grid penalty to start off race 1. And currently, his qualifying position currently is first. So he will start 9th technically, which will move Andrew up to P5 starting, which is good. Now, as for Andrew is sitting in 4th overall in the championships, which is only 20 points down from first. So with 3 rounds left to go, he's still in the running for first place in the championship. Colin is sitting in 10th. And where's Jack here? And Jack is in 21st. So I know there's a few people that couldn't show up that are above Jack, so that gives Jack the opportunity to get ahead. Looks like qualifying is done, though. Looks like we got a couple people out. Oh, there's probably going to be a couple people getting some disqualifying because they've gone a lap over. But it looks like Jack, P15 provisionally, Nick/Colin, P14 provisionally, and Andrew, P6 provisionally until the grid placements get placed on drivers. So I think all 3 of our drivers might move up at least 1 spot, but I'm not 100% sure. I will let you guys know that as soon as I know. Jack just popping his head in to say hello after the qualifying. Kind of freaked me out. Thought he wanted to ask me a question there for a second, but nope, he's all good. So today, let me just pull up the rules for today. I think Howard is in the pit lanes now. If he's got any words from the drivers while you're out there, Howard.
Sorry, Rick, I didn't catch that. Rick, are you there? Rick.
Alrighty, so oh no, you started talking and then I was like, all right, whatever, it's not a big deal. I was just trying to kill time while I did my stuff. Some minor things. We're just waiting for everything to get set in the grid here. But while we're waiting, so Andrew's going to be starting with 42 kilograms of ballast, so he's actually going to be a little bit heavier than most of the drivers. That's for race 1. That was for qualifying, and this is going to be for race 1. So he qualified 6th. So he's actually going to move up a spot because Manuel Lopez has got to move down 8 spots. But he qualified 6th with 42 kilograms of extra weight added to the car. So hey, that's pretty good. And then we have Nick/Colin qualified 14th, and Jack qualified 15th. So very good showing from everybody. And just so everybody knows, Nick only had like 4 hours of practice, and it was all in the dry. So he's only had maybe half an hour of practice today in the rain, which is like 10 laps if you go off lots. So he's really going to be struggling. To tires for today. The tires for today are mediums, and then the option tires are softs. However, the wets will take place of the option tires, just because it's raining. You can't use softs or mediums in the rain because, I mean, unless you want to be driving off in the dirt somewhere, who knows? So most people, if it dries out enough, it'll be wet tires for the first race, and then the second 2 races, it'll be medium tires for both races. Other than that, not really much else to say. Howard, how are the drivers doing out in the pit lane there? Oh, he must not have the headset on. All good, no problem. All right. Let's see. I'm going to try and get a picture for you guys of Snetterton Park, because it is an interesting one. I'm just riding on board with somebody because I don't think any of our drivers are out on track yet. Yeah, Jack, Colin, and Andrew are all in the pits still, so we're just gonna ride on board with a random driver here while I try to get you guys a picture of the track. Okie dokie, let's see what I can do here. No, you're not gonna work? Oh, that's why, because it saved the wrong one. Oh, that's not what I wanted. So there's your track. That is what the track looks like. So first corner, the richest corner is going to be probably the corner where everybody goes off in the rain. We don't know. The Montreal hairpin has actually been renamed. I can't remember what it's called now. I think it's called the Wilson hairpin. Then you have the Palmer corner, the Agostini corner, the Hamilton corner. Augie's, I think, is Augie Straight. Then you have the Williams corner. You have the Bentley Straight. And then you have Brundle and Nelson. This is a very hard, Brundle and Nelson's going to be a very hard combination. The bomb hole, And then you have Coram and Murray's. This is another very difficult last corner as the track narrows out at the end of Coram. You are going clockwise. It narrows out the end of Coram into a very tight left-handed Murray's corner onto the long straight. So that is what the track looks like, just for everybody out there wondering what today's track looks like. Looks like qualifying's almost over here. Yeah, I'm gonna let you guys decide what the track looks like. I'm not gonna say it out loud, just because that's kind of inappropriate there. But I don't know. You guys determine what it looks like for your own selves.
We all have an
and
opinion
let me
about what we
know
think it looks
what you
like.
guys think of it. This is the 300 layout, as I mentioned.
Comment on our YouTube or
So-
Facebook.
Let's see if any of our drivers are out there. Probably not. This is the last couple seconds of Andrew's out there. Let's go on board with him for a bit. So it's gonna be like I said, it's gonna be a very difficult track. Last round, I'm actually very surprised. There was a lot, and I mean a lot, of off-track or corner cutting penalties, I guess, that were handed out after last race. I think I counted, and there was a total of between three races, I think there's a total of like 12 corner cutting penalties given out during the race. So each penalty, they were giving a 3-place grid penalty basically for this first race today. So if you qualified first, you're going to start fourth, so on, as whatever, right? And like I said, Emmanuel got 3 penalties. So he got... I apologize for that. That was a little bit loud. So Emmanuel, go ahead, Howard.
Looks like we're just getting ready to go here. So we're going to be live, lights out any moment. Any moment.
All right, guys, here we go onto the grid. Andrew is up into P5, like I said, because of Emmanuel Lopez's penalties. Nick/Colin is up in P13, and Jack is in P15. So very good placements from all of our drivers. You can see Andrew there, third one from the front row, and then you got Nick/Colin, who would be 7th from the front row on the right-hand side. Andrew just turned his lights on. Thank you, Andrew. And then Jack right behind Nick/Colin. So here we go. Oh,
Lights out, lights
that was
out.
a glitch. Don't know what happened there. Yep, looks like a car is constantly going in and out, so not sure what's going on there. Corner 1 is where things are going to get interesting. And I'm going to apologize if there's any lag right now, guys. The rain always causes a little bit of lag in races, especially when there's this many cars. So just bear with it. Nick and Jack side by side going to the first hairpin. Oh, car already off. That was actually pretty good for the first 2 corners. I expected a lot more cars off of track. Oh, yeah, here we go. All the fast corners are where people are going to start sliding off. So that's going to put Nick/Colin up into P9 already after 3 corners, and Jack up into P10 after 3 corners. So it's just going to be a survival of the fittest and who can stay on the track the longest. Right now we're at 94% track wetness and 4% rain. So it is raining a little bit, but not bad. That spray, however, is going to be a nightmare for these drivers to be able to pick out their braking points and to not hit the drivers in front. So everybody's doing a very good job so far.
Hey Rick, let's ride on board with one of our drivers, because I have to tell you, they can, as you were just saying, they can barely see through these windshields.
No, that's not the right one. Is it this one? This button. There we go. There you go. There's a great look of what racing in the rain looks like in these cars. It is not very fun, and this is not that bad because it's not raining super heavy. It's just the spray on the track that is really making things difficult, and then obviously the wet track being difficult. Wet tires still don't help. The last corner. Oh, that little tag car got a wicked run out of the last corner. Andrew's doing good, staying strong P5. And Nick/Colin's up in P9 still, so that's good. And Jack is up in P11, so I mean, everybody's gained a spot. I mean, except Andrew because he's fighting with the top like 3 guys in the championship right now anyway, so doing a very good job. Oh, Jack break.
Wow, that shows you the skill you have to have right there, guys. What you're seeing when the steering wheel moves is exactly mirroring what Jack is doing on track. So this is the amount of and we were talking about being handsy. I think the last couple races, and Andrew. But this is everybody else having to be a little handsy to stay on track. There we go.
Broke a little bit late. But not bad though. Oh, that tag car behind Jack. There is 2 tag cars, so there is one behind Jack at the moment. Pop on board with Nick doing some Formula Drift. I hope he knows you're not supposed to be doing Formula Drift in this championship, but hey, it's just it's his first day racing this track in the rain, so he kind of got thrown to the wolves a little bit. He's doing good though. Jack seems to be having some major issues. Yep, looks like Jack got taken out. No, I'm riding on board with the wrong car. Where is Jack? There he is. Sounds like everybody's having fun out there from what I can hear. Let's go back up to, I think we're on board with Nick/Colin at the moment. Yeah, it goes defensive. Very well done. Oh, that's a cool shot. I really like that shot. Oh, drifting around the corner, drifting around the hairpin. Nick doing a very good job. Looks like Andrew's moved up to P4. He's got about a 4-second gap to 3rd place at the moment, so he's got to start pulling away from the guys behind him. The rain is really making things very interesting. Some of the guys that are a little bit farther down the championship are actually showing that they can hang out with the big boys up in the rain. So Nick falls down to 10th. Not a big deal. Still top 10. Remember, top 15 get points. So everybody, all 3 drivers are in the points at the moment. The one thing I did not check was how many laps we were doing today at Snetterton.
Yeah, there was a question about that actually yesterday while everyone was practicing, Rick. So let's find out.
We are 12 laps because it is such a long track. It is 12 laps. So we're just finishing lap 3, and then we will have, if my brain will work, we will have 8 laps left.
Sounds like your additions and subtractions work.
They're trying. They're trying very, very hard.
I should have maybe got your math mark before I invited you to stream.
Looks like Nick is starting to. Nick's got his struggle shoes on big time today, guys. So we don't want to put anything against him. It's his first time, literally first time driving these cars, and he's getting thrown to the wolves driving in them in the rain with half an hour of practice.
Nick/Colin,
Nick/Colin, yeah.
Yeah, Colin has much experience, but it's Nick / Colin today. So yeah, it's his first time driving on this track with these cars.
In the rain. In the freaking rain. So. Looks like Andrew's starting to pull a little bit closer to third place. He's cut that gap down from 3.5 to about 2.5, so he's gaining on them a little bit. Of course, he's got Emmanuel Lopez right hot on his tail, so he's getting some push from them. Oh, I heard something drop behind me. Howard's just losing shit out of his pockets, guys. That's all.
Hopefully those phasers are set on stun.
It's not May the 4th, so I don't know if those jokes are allowed today.
I'd be the red shirt, okay? That'd be me today. Sorry for the nerd Star Trek references.
I hope
people.
somebody in chat gets that reference. I know like 5 years ago I wouldn't have understood that reference. Now I do. Thanks to all my nerdy ass friends that I have. Nick doing a good job. Nick / Colin doing a good job. Let's go back to Jack here. Oh, don't know what happened to Jack. Looks like he lost another place. Still top 15. So he is actually sitting where he qualified, and he's got a 4-second gap to the car behind and about a 1.5-second gap to the car in front. So he's got a good cushion to the car behind as long as he doesn't go off track or spin, which is good. Go up to Nick / Colin has a good little 3-way battle for P9 at the moment. This is a good little grouping of cars right here.
I'm gonna go see if Jack got some damage from that explosion of expletives.
the Peggy 18 stuff, as Super GT would say. So in this battle, looks like we have a Ford Focus behind Nick / Colin, then we are in the Subaru, and then the Vauxhall in front. I'm just going to go up and check out Andrew here. Monsieur Parkinson, little bit drifty. Yeah, he's up into third place now, but he's got a big gap. That's Emmanuel Lopez. Emmanuel Lopez is actually only 3 points ahead of Andrew in the standing. So if Andrew can finish ahead of Emmanuel Lopez, he will take third place. Actually, I believe he's got to finish in front of him twice. I'm just gonna double check this for a second. Let's actually do this. Right on board with Andrew. Literally on board with Andrew for a second. While I check the standings in the championship.
All right, so Rick, just a damage
Andrew
report.
Is 5 points down of
Jack
Emmanuel.
does have
so
some major.
If Andrew finishes third, he'll get 15, and Emmanuel will get 13. So he'll close the gap by 2 points. So if he can finish ahead of him in all 3 races, depending on how far ahead of him he finishes, Andrew could potentially take third place in the championship from Emmanuel, and then that would leave 2 rounds left after this. Round 5, we're going to Donington, which is a very good track, old school English track, and then we go to Brands Hatch, which is a very fun track. I really like Brands Hatch. But Howard, you were in the pit lane checking on Jack and the drivers. How are they looking damage-wise?
So Nick has a little bit of slight front end damage and a couple of light panel damages on the rear. Andrew's looking good at the moment, but yeah, indeed, that incident that Jack had early on in the race has given him some pretty major damage in the front end. Looks like he's managing okay, but that has definitely affected his times as he probably deals with some suspension and steering damage. So.
Well, as long as he can hold in the P15, he'll get himself a point. He does have a pretty big gap to P16. It's about 5 seconds. So as long as he can hold that gap at a good 5 seconds, he'll be laughing. But it looks like that damage is definitely starting to affect his his gap to P14. It's now up to 5.4 seconds from the 3.5 it was a lap ago. So we are halfway through this race, guys. We've got 6 laps left. Andrew is sitting P3. Colin slash Nick, or Nick slash Colin, whichever way you want to do it, has fallen back to P11 again, and Jack is sitting P15. So all in all, it's a good race so far from all 3 drivers. And it looks like we only got about 5% rain. The track is definitely drying out. It's at 91% wetness at the moment, so that's always a good sign. And it looks like Andrew's actually pulled a gap, about a 3.5 second gap to Emmanuel behind him. So if he can keep that up, he'll have a nice safety cushion in 3rd place to finish this race off in. Even though we all know Andrew does not like to sit too far behind for very long, so I'm sure he'll be pushing at some point. Let's hop back and find Nick slash Colin here. Right there he is. He's got a big train coming behind him, so he's really got to push. He's got about a 1.5 second gap to 10th, and just over a second gap to P12 behind him. So we just got to hope he can hold on. Oh, there was a car going way off track. One of the tag cars has decided to disappear off the track from the train that was behind Nick slash Colin. So, oh, and that red Ford Focus has had a little bit of struggle, has put their struggle shoes on apparently. That gives Nick some chance to catch up. Nick staying out of the stream so we can actually see where he's going. Very well done.
Yeah, and get a little bit of bump draft as well, I guess.
Yeah. That unfortunately is going to help the 2 cars behind catch up. Not too bad though. It looks like the Ford Focus and the Subaru of Nick slash Colin got the better run out of that last corner. However, slower into the second hairpin allows that blue MG6. Oh god, I gotta look at the cars now. I keep getting it wrong, guys, for the car. I'm sorry.
Another crappy British manufacturer. Who cares? They only drive them in this series.
The MG6, yes, that's what it is. I used to call it the MC5 or MC6 or something. I don't know. Made sure I got it right this time. But Nick doing a very good job of holding off. They got 5 laps left. This is very well done from Nick. We've had one driver DNF so far. That's actually pretty good compared to the last few races. That's actually pretty good.
Remember the last, even the last race without rain, there was a lot more DNFs than this, though.
Yeah, there was like 4 DNFs before the first 3 laps. Today it's taken 8 laps for one driver to DNF. That's really, really good. Nick with a little bit of a slide. That's going to give the 2 cars behind really good run down the start-finish straight.
We have some animal companions in watching the racing today live down in the pit. Yeah.
That's a really awesome shot. I really like that shot. That's cool. The camera shake and everything. That's awesome. Nick doing a very good job. Oh, getting turned
that's
in
not
on.
very...
That's okay. That's all right. Nobody got taken out. Oh, Nick had the better run around that corner, but had to back off a little bit to keep from rear-ending. The little MG6. I think he's like the only one driving that car in this series. All drivers are allowed to change their car once in this series. So a lot of people started on the Vauxhall or the MG6, and a bunch of them swapped to the Subaru after like the first round. So, but Colin doing a very good job. Jack has actually pulled up, has pulled back. Oh, this is the tag car that spun out. So Jack is actually hanging with them despite the damage. Jack is doing a very good job of hanging with this tag car, and he's gained a little more of a gap to the car behind. It's up to about 6 seconds now. So
these tag cars are kind of driving like they're playing a game of tag today.
Yeah, Andrew is definitely falling back from P2. He is in P3 still, but he's gained about 2 more seconds to Emmanuel Lopez behind him, so he's up to a 5.5 second gap. But he's also fallen back from the lead or from the second place car. He's down to about 8-second gap now. But it looks like that second place driver has had a spin and allowed Andrew to gain a little bit of time, unless my live timing is all out of whack all of a sudden. No, it's about 7.5 seconds. Okay, good. It just took his time to sort itself out. But Jack doing a very good job. This is a good drive from Jack despite the damage. He's got a half a second gap to this guy, so at 220 kilometers an hour, that's what a half a second gap looks like. Just in case y'all were wondering. These guys are reaching on the main straight, the start finish straight, they are reaching averaging 218 to 219 kilometers an hour before the braking zone for turn 1. So in the wet. In the dry, I think they were getting up to 230 some kilometers an hour on that straight. So
232, 233.
Yeah, somewhere around there. It's still raining a little bit. There's still 4% rain. Track is still really wet, 90%, as you can tell from the spray from the cars. Jack's doing a good job. This will be his 3rd points finish in a row. Speaking of points finishes in a row, Lando Norris has the all-time record of any McLaren driver of having 15 consecutive points finishes in a row, which is amazing. So that just goes to show you don't have to always win, just getting a record of being...
Speaking of all-time record holder Norris, check out...
Might have to take it out of the bag, that reflection. This is the bag, this is the unbagging of a Lando Norris number 4 hat. One of the other hats that we just got in for sale.
We'll make it today's...
Jack is doing great. This is actually really good, hanging on with this tag car. Their bags, the glue on those bags is so strong, dude. I'm gonna hop on board with Nick here quick. Oh, that was quick. I will find a better picture for race 2 so you guys have it. But yes, that is the hat.
Fresh.
It's actually a really nice hat, and it kind of gives me an idea for a paint scheme that I'm doing for a NASCAR car for one of our customers. So I kind of have an idea of what I'm going to do for the car. She has requested the brightest green I could find. And I think it was, I can't remember, I have the notes on my phone, number 20. Number 18 or number 20. So I'll put a better picture up of that hat in between races. However, back to the race, Nick has caught this group, and it looks like 2 of them have gone super wide. So this is the battle, Nick/Colin. This is the battle for P10. So Nick/Colin has fallen all the way back to P13. Like I said, the rain on this track is causing a lot of things to go haywire. Oh, sunny! The clouds just disappeared. That was weird. Holy. I don't know if anybody else noticed that, but it went from dusky and cloudy to very sunny out.
Oh, right.
That was weird. Holy. The things you see here on our Factor 2, guys, is kind of weird. But I'm glad the lag has not been too bad from the rain. Last time we had rain, it was really, really nasty, so... Nick really pushing hard. This is a very narrow track, guys. Not a lot of passing areas unless somebody goes wide. So Nick looks like he has the better run. This is going to be
exciting. Go, Nick.
This is going to be battle of
Hamilton.
the drag. I believe
Put it on the inside.
And I believe the Subaru actually is one of the slower cars in a straight line. Oh, Nick tried to outbrake him and outbroke himself. That was a very, very good attempt. Good rejoin after he gets the pylon stuck under his car, lets that car go by. That was gentleman's rules, as we always say. Now he's going to work to catch back up. This is last lap. We got last lap now. And only 2 cars have been lapped this race too, which is actually weird because every race there's at least 7 or 8 cars that have been lapped by now.
It's a longer track,
yeah.
You add in the rain, and you have some real spacing between people here. I'm not sure what that guy just did, but gave Nick the place.
Diving into the pits, thought this was the last lap. Unless he had a penalty, we don't know There always is in-game penalties that we don't actually see, so that gives Nick/Colin a place back, and it's actually going to give Jack has gained 2 places. He gained a place from that
13.
person going into the pits, and then that tag driver, he must have passed, or they must have spun out. Yeah, the tag driver must have spun out again. He's all the way back there.
Well, I'm gonna go set up in the pits and see how these guys are after this race.
Sounds good, sir. Andrew's still sitting pretty in P3. Oh, Nick goes a little bit wide. He's gonna let Jack go past. Yeah. Nick/Colin. Yeah, we're all gentlemen here, especially when it's your teammate. You don't want to kill any of your own team. Very well done from all the drivers. So Andrew is going to finish P3. They're just coming around the last couple corners now. I can watch it on my live timing. And Andrew or Jack and Nick/Colin are going to finish P12, P13. So very good showings from all 3 drivers. Nick/Colin getting caught out by the spray. Couldn't find the breaking point. All good though.
Jack and Nick/Colin are
Jack starting to pull away
communicating well.
from Nick/Colin now. Oh, we've had 2 DNFs. We've had our second DNF. Oh, Jack going a little bit wide. As you can see, the car bouncing hard on those curbs. One thing I will say is we use motion for customers and stuff like that. In these esports races, we don't, because it just makes us more consistent. But if you were in these cars on this track with the motion on, very, very bumpy. I will tell you that right now, especially when you hit the curbs like that. It's very, very bumpy. And you feel every bump. It's awesome. Both Nick/Colin and Jack going wide in the last corner before the finish line, I guess now. So Jack coming in and a solid P12, and Colin/Nick going to be coming in a solid P13. So gotta love that camera angle. Are we doing one more lap? Looks like they're doing 13 laps. This is what I mean. They always, in the Discord, they put down 12 laps, and it looks like they're doing an extra lap. Howard, can you give me the update on that if we are doing an extra lap?
No, it actually reflects on all the drivers' cars that they are only on their 12th lap at the moment. So I'm not sure what happened there, if a lap got deleted or what, but yeah.
Okay, I might be reading the live timing wrong then. I keep thinking of it as 12 laps completed. It must be that they're starting their 12th lap. So that is my mistake.
They're about 11 and a half
they are
laps,
doing 12 laps.
And Andrew's almost done.
I now know how to read the live timing. It was a little bit confusing, but very well done. Andrew taking a solid P3. Well done. Sounds like we got a big crowd out in the building watching all our drivers. We got Jack coming through in a solid P12 here. When they come across line, they got a couple more corners. And looks like Colin/Nick is going to have to hold off. Let's go back to them right now. There they are. They got one more corner left. This is a Coram corner, the long right-hander. And then you got the super tight left-hander coming up here right quick. There's Jack going through it. And then Colin/Nick going through it, taking him much better this time. He's got to hold off that car, make that car as fast as possible before going across the finish line. Well done to Nick/Colin. Good job, guys. So good finish from all 3 drivers. All 3 drivers taking all points. Jack doing a little bit of donuts in the background. Nick just full sending it.
Oh, excellent.
I caught that on
well done to all
stream.
the boys. We got a lot of smiles. Everyone's happy. So yeah, we're all pretty happy with that result. We're gonna have a break and get into the next race.
So glad I caught that on stream. That was absolutely phenomenal. All 3 drivers did very good. We're gonna go to a quick intermission here, guys. for before race 2. Remember, there are 3 races in each round, so we're gonna have another 2 races. So definitely stay tuned for the next 2 races. We're gonna go to a quick intermission. I'm gonna go have my pit stop. The drivers are gonna have their pit stop, and then we're gonna come back for race 2. And it looks like Andrew's gonna have 48 kilograms of ballast. So that's an extra 48 kilograms of weight added to his car for finishing P3. And then Jack and Nick / Colin aren't going to have any ballast added, so that's going to be great. And then race 3 is going to be the interesting one. So stay tuned, and we'll be back in a short minute here.
Have you been locked up all year? Tired of the same old routine? We've got you covered at TRACKSVR. We have 12 full-motion simulators incorporating VR technology to put you in the driver's seat of a race car. With our team of sim experts, we can help guide you whether you're a beginner or a seasoned veteran. From Ferrari to AlphaTauri and all the teams in between, we've got the largest selection of F1 racing merchandise in Western Canada. We clean all the equipment before and after each use and disinfect all high touch points. Forget about the Zoom presentation on Monday. Forget about the holes in the wall for your kids' virtual soccer practice. Bring your future champions down here. We're open for retail viewing and product testing. We want to bring our passion for racing to you here at TRACKSVR.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We're just a couple seconds left in warm up here, and we will be back. Oops, I'm banging in the pit lane. We'll be back for race 2 here in a couple seconds. Warm up is just finishing. Yeah, liveries aren't loading again for some reason. This guy has a livery, I can see it, but the car on the track isn't actually showing up. So looks like people were out. Looks like people were out trying out the soft tires for the warm-up, but it doesn't look like it's going to work. Where are our drivers? We're going to ride on board with Nick/Colin for this race. So we have in the dead center in the screen on the right-hand side, we have Nick/Colin. You got Jack on the left-hand side up against the wall, and you got Andrew, who just popped in there up in P3. So all of our drivers are gonna have a good race this race, especially Andrew, even though he's got an extra 6 kilograms of ballast added to the car, all that extra weight. 6 kilograms is not a lot. If you say 3/100ths of a second times 6, I mean that's only what 0.18 or basically 0.2 per second or 0.2 per lap slower than he would be if he had no weight on the car. Is basically what that is. But here we go. Lights out. And we're off for race 2. Andrew didn't have a very good start. Looks like Colin/Nick and Jack both got away pretty good. They got a big wall of cars, 4 wide down the main straight there. Oh, somebody losing already. A spin before the first corner. That looks familiar to the first couple races that we had. So, oh, and then a massive crash taking out both Jack and Nick/Colin. That was coming out of turn 1. Colin/Nick and Jack are probably going to have a crap load of damage after that. That looked brutal. We'll have to wait for Howard to give us the update on damage for that, because it looks pretty nasty. Go ahead, Howard.
Jack is severely damaged. His car, very obviously, guys, from seeing what we saw, is very, very damaged. He's if they don't restart the race here, he's going to be struggling. We'll see what happens here.
Oh, there is a full course yellow. Okay, cool. Pits are open, full course yellow. I don't know, is there going to be a safety car then? We don't know we've never had one, so we don't know what the rules are going to be for the safety car. But hopefully that allows Jack and Nick/Colin. That's going to be both of their names from now on. I'm just saying it right now. It's just going to be the name from now on. Every time they come in, I'm just going to say Nick/Colin.
If either of them are in the room, we'll expect them to answer. Nick/Colin.
Both of them will answer. Yeah, that put Jack down to P16, lost 4 spots from that, and Nick/Colin lost 1 spot from that. So with the Pizza King car going off, that's going to give Jack a free spot.
He is struggling. Yeah, I think he's got some steering and suspension damage. His wheel is cockeyed as well. So I don't know how else to say that.
That was Nick/Colin off the track, spun out in the last corner, so he's struggling with lots of damage too. Full course yellow, yeah. Oh hey, look, my race live timing just came up saying full course yellow. Cool. But it's not resetting. Why is nothing resetting? Okay, now it has reset. Okay. So Jack back up into P14 and Nick/Colin into P17. So both struggling with lots of damage. We're still under full course yellow.
I'll give an update here on because it looks like they're getting back going green here. I'm not sure what's happening, so I'm going to try and find out, see what I can see.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it looks like the pack is definitely starting to bunch up now.
Okay, yeah. So they've had a full course caution. They're actually in formation and having to follow the placement of the car that before the accident. So we'll see. Jack is following. Right behind where he needs to be. So hopefully we get a little bit better than that. That first race was pretty decent, but we were waiting for it in the first race, and they all just held off till the second race. So yeah, you can see here how they're all bunching up because they may end up restarting the race. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I almost would have just called a full race restart after that. That was pretty freaking nasty. I don't know why they didn't just do that. Too wide now.
When we have cars airborne on the first corner, that's.
I mean, there was two. I think there was two that spun before the first corner, and then just literally right at the exit of the first corner, there was like Jack was in the air, Nick/Colin was in the air. I think one of the Fords was in the air. It was just a big gong show. They should have just restarted the entire race. It's kind of a bad call on the stewards' decision, but hey, we're not the stewards, so. But it looks like everybody's back in place. Good little shot of all the cars coming down the road. Those trackside cams, the ones that are down by the curbs, are awesome. While we're under full course yellow, I have managed to get a picture of the hat, so I'll make this a little bit larger for you guys for a second so you guys can see it. There is the Lando Norris Hat of the day to celebrate his 15 consecutive point finishes. Remember, you guys can come down here, TRACKSVR, and purchase it. All of our hats are here. I will have to add this one to our Google site now so that shows up.
I believe this one's going to be $90, Rick, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, somewhere around there, I think, yeah. Yeah, they're still waiting for one guy to catch up. Tomas has got to catch up. He's all the way back in 24th there, so we're probably going to get another full lap. We'll easily get another full lap. We might get two. Looks like some guys are opting to go on the softs unless my live timing is starting to go all wonky. But we have a few guys. Looks like we have about 6 guys on softs, 1 guy on mediums, and everybody else on wet still. I mean, the track is still 80% wet, so you really... Whoa, everybody's slowing right down for the hairpin, almost causing collisions all over the place. Yep, see, the tag cars are even killing each other.
They are playing tag out there. These guys got to learn how to race. This isn't a game of tag.
Only, like, why are they stopping? Like, it's like these guys don't know the rules of a safety car. Like, keep enough room between each of you, and then as soon as you come out of the hairpin, you speed up super quick, and then slow down a little bit at a time. You don't slam on your brakes like Jiminy Christmas. This is not foreign knowledge. We all know this, especially if you watch racing. Yeah, you can see the different stripes on the cars, on some of the tires. Some of them are looks like they are opting for different tires. So
I believe the softs are going to be yellow, and then you've got your purple mediums.
Can't remember. I think that's how it was, or the opposite. We don't know. We'll find out when we actually start seeing them.
Looks like there's only one person who's opted for mediums.
Anyway,
I'm not sure that I would. Especially given that most of the track is still wet.
Yeah. I mean, 79% wetness. You get, from experience, you get off the dry line by like a hair, and you will get squirrely if you're full throttle or getting on the power at the same time. You will get squirrely. Like, it's not fun. And you can see the dry line. That nice light gray line is the dry line. Everything else is wet, as you can tell. Guys keeping their tires cool by going off into the wet stuff. The wet tires will start to heat up a lot more now that the track is drying out a little bit, so they have to keep their tires nice and cool on the straights.
Those darn tag guys, man.
And there's
Holy
3
cow.
of them. The one up front, the one that's a little bit farther up front's not so bad. He's not really killing anybody. It's the other 2. Let's see here. We're gonna do this for a second. We're just gonna go boop. Just ride on board so we can see what I believe I'm riding on board with Jack. crap, I gotta check now. Yep, right on board Jack. So this is what he sees. This is all the shenanigans unfolding in front of him. This is what he is seeing. I'll shrink this a little bit now.
Look out here, they come into another corner that everybody's bunched up
Yeah,
in.
into a really, oh, this is coming around Coram into the really tight left-hander. So yeah, everybody's gonna be coming into Murray's corner. They're really tight, and it pinches like the corner. The track gets really narrow, and then it turns really sharply and narrows off some more, and then it starts to slowly widen out as the straight gets longer. But you can see with the spray on, no wipers on, you can barely see. We are on green flag now. We are racing. Thank the Lord, or lords.
All of them.
All of them. All of them. Looks like so far in front of Jack. Oh, I don't know if he got tapped. He might have got tapped. I'm not sure. But looks like everybody's gone clean so far through the first corner. Through the hairpin. That MG6 throwing it up the inside. Oh, I don't know if Nick got tapped or what happened there. But that's just unfortunate. It looked like Nick/Colin got tapped.
Those tag cars were involved somehow,
It looks
I bet.
like he got tapped and then spun into Arcturus, and then Arcturus spun and took like 3 more cars out. Arcturus is now way off track. Nick/Colin way down into P22 now. That's unfortunate. Jack, however, is up into P12. And Andrew's still in P3 after the first few corners. So, lots of shenanigans going up here. Looks like where's Jack? There he is. Oh, yeah, that damage is really starting to show. He can barely get the power down.
Yeah, he's got heavy blue damage on his right front side
Jack up
from
in
that,
P11.
obviously. Actually, it looks like his whole car is dented and dinged and damaged.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt having that much damage. That I'm surprised Nick doesn't have that much because they were both just destroyed in the first corner. So Jack getting a free place up into
Nick
P10.
has heavy damage as well.
Nick/Colin all the way up to P19. So people still not knowing how to drive, or these are the people that are fully damaged and just trying to hang on. Jack doing a very good job, though. He's up into P10. This will be, I believe this will be his highest points finish. If he can hang on. We are on lap 5. Oh, the green and red car going wide.
Nice.
Man, that's a good camera shot. Giving Jack.
P8.
Jack's got 2 spots now. Jack is up into P8.
Just needs to keep it cool. He just needs to keep it cool. Nick's up in this gross pack, mid pack right now. They're all fighting it out.
Yeah, this is a good little battle right now going on. Oh, Jack with a big spin. Not spin, big slide. Update on tires. It looks like the leader is on the softs. And then P2, P3, and P4 are all on wets. And then you have P5 and P6 on softs. So
is Jack on wets. His tire temperatures are starting to spike. So yeah, that track is drying out, and it looks like being on wets is not as the race progresses here. Those tires are going to really wear quickly. They are very hot though, so hopefully we don't see any off tracks because of it.
Yeah, Jack's doing a good job though. I mean, he's holding strong in P8, and they got about a 3-second gap to P10. These 2 cars here. So as long as he can just, locking up a little bit. That's a really glossy finish on that MG6. He's actually getting the reflections from the track onto his car. That is freaking insane. Yeah, he's gonna have the better drive, but he's in the wet part of the track. Jack's gonna have more grip going around it, staying in the dry line. Well done. That's one thing right now. This track has got one lane and one lane only, and you do not want to be off it. Oh, Jack a little bit wide. Well done. Drag race to the next corner. Yeah, he's just staying in the... That's Matthew Clip behind him. Just staying in the wets.
Planted on that line. He's staying on the apex and just making himself as wide as possible. He's got his big...
Oh, a little bit wide, though. A little bit
wide.
wide.
Wide pants. Oh.
A little bit wide. A little bit late on the brakes going to the second hairpin, but not too bad. I mean, he's still got a decent gap to the cars behind. They got a 3.5-second gap to the cars behind. So, I mean, Jack up in the top 10. This is doing awesome. We got Nick/Colin up in P16. Let's go back to him. He's actually caught the back of this massive pack. So he's got Tomas right in front of him, who we all know is very quick. And we know Nick/Colin does have damage, but to recover back from P23 all the way up into P16 already, in like the span of 2.5 laps, 2 laps? Yeah, 2 laps. Because we're just coming to the end of lap 6 here. There's a good drive from all the drivers. Oh, it looks like Andrew's had a little bit of a mishap. He's back into P5. He fell back 2 places. I don't know what happened there, if he got a little bit squirrely or if it's the tires. I know the guy that just passed him is on the softs. That MG6 is on the softs. And then the 2 drivers in front of them, or the 2 drivers in front of them are on wets, so. But the track is definitely drying out. We're at 75% wetness now instead of the 86 that we ended that last race, so. Third race, people are going to be opting for the mediums, I believe, but you really have to stay on that dry line or else things get very hairy really quick.
Yeah, and the reason for that, for those of you who don't know, is that race tires are slick, and they're called slicks because they don't have any tread, so they don't have any ability to shed water, and thereby creating a hydroplane situation.
I don't know if that was a place for Jack. Doesn't look like it. Jack is up into P... Oh, this might be... Is this lap traffic? This can't be lap traffic. Oh no, we're on board with Nick/Colin. What the... Yeah, oh, okay. I'm confused as to where I am here. This is Nick/Colin. Freaking hell.
Rick, you're here on Earth.
Oh, man. It's because they don't all have different driver numbers. And they should have done something on the wings to differentiate who they were too. Different color wing or something would have helped. But other than that, this is Nick/Colin. He's up in P14.
Got a recovery drive from
He's doing awesome. I mean, that's 9 places in literally 3 laps. And we've had a DNF now, so somebody finally just gave up from all the damage they probably sustained in corner 1 of lap 1, so. Andrew's back up into P4 now. I want to stay on board with Nick/Colin because he could pass these 2 guys. We just started lap 8. Or the leaders just started lap 8. Jack just started lap 8. Jack is up into P8 again. He's kind of going back and forth between P9 and P8, but he looks like he's got a 5-second gap to P7 and a 2.5 to 3-second gap to P9. So he's got a good little cushion before he loses another spot, if he can just keep himself nice and clean. Nick doing a good job of holding on to these guys despite the damage he must have. And the track is drying out too, so that's going to help him a little bit. He's got more practice on a dry track than a wet track, so.
There's a bit of an opportunity.
Car going wide again. He's got the better run down the straight. Yeah, back off. That's a good call into the hairpin. Use the outside. Keep those tires nice and dry. Nice and cool. Oh my God, my guys, I can't talk today. It's only race 2. Got one more race after this. You can see all the tire tracks off in the grass from all the cars constantly going wide. Let's go on board with Jack here. There he's just got Thomas Golab hot on his heels. That's a smart play because Thomas is on the soft tire, so he is going to have more grip. Oh, Thomas going wide though.
That's a smart play because Jack took the spot back.
Sometimes you just got to know if you know they're going to outbrake themselves, you just let them go, outbrake themselves, and take the spot right back. This is a good little battle though. However, I think if Tomas can stay on that dry line long enough, I think he'll start to pull away from Jack, considering the tires.
Like I said, Jack's tires being on wets. All of them are on wets. Their tire temperatures are spiking into red, even going down the straight. So.
Yeah, and the fact that he's got lots of damage and Tomas probably has like none. We are on lap 9. Lap 9 of 12.
Sure, I think it said lap 14 at the top. Distance 14 laps.
Oh, lap 9 of 4. Oh God, they've added 2 more laps? Jiminy Christmas. Way to confuse me. Come on, organizers. Oh no, they might give you 14 laps just in case there's people lapped down. That could be why they've added extra laps. We're going to say lap 9 of 12 for the time being. Nick/Colin up in the P12.
14 laps.
Jack's got a nice little comfortable gap here. He's got 3 seconds to the car in front, 3 seconds to the car behind. So I'm just going to hop on board Nick/Colin, who's up in the P12 at the moment. He's doing very good. Nick is hanging on. This is a battle for P11, just so everybody knows. Nick kind of getting pinched. Oh, Nick/Colin got it spinning out. Oh, yeah. Now his tires are really hot. They're really going to have no grip. That tag car, I don't know what he was thinking. He just flew straight off the track, full send. When in doubt, flat out. He actually, Nick/Colin did not lose too many places. He only lost 4 spots for that, so that's not too bad, actually. Go ahead, Howard. Nick is doing very good. I mean, all things considered, Nick is having a very, very good drive. Wide on turn 1. That's just the heat from the tires. They get hot. They lose all their grip. Let's hop back on board with Jack. Where's our boy? There he is. He's got that bright white car. That is actually an energy livery Subaru. I don't know why his livery is not loading when the other energy cars are. This is the battle for P9, so. And that group behind is slowly starting to catch up. Leaders are coming to the end of lap 10. And Jack is about halfway through lap 10, so about a lap and a half, 2 laps left. And track is starting to dry out a little bit more every lap. We're at 72% wetness now, so. And no rain. And as far as I know from looking at the Discord, there is no rain in the forecast for the rest of the day. which means race 3 will be dry as well, which means the track will dry out even more, which is phenomenal, which is a good sign. That Ford Focus is really putting in some good laps. P11 is starting to catch up now, so this is a three-way battle for P9. Oh, as the Ford Focus gets a little bit squirrely. Jack doing a very good job of holding these two back. Where are we here? That Ford Focus is on the soft tires, so he is going to have the better drive and the better grip going into these corners as long as he can stay on the dry line and doesn't get pinched. So if Jack lets these two behind him battle it out, he should be able to pull away a little bit. Gap is up to about a second, just over a second now, so that Ford Focus is going to start reeling Jack in quick, but he's only got a lap to do it. They have started lap 11, so my live timing has froze. I'm just going to restart it here quickly. So Jack is doing a very, very good job here. We're about halfway through lap 11. And they got one more lap after this. Jack getting a little bit squirrely coming out of that corner. Yeah, that Focus is going to get a way better drive. He's on the dry line and he's got on the soft tires. Jack has no choice but to take the wet line just to get those tires cooled off for this next corner coming up. He's doing a very good drive right now. Oh, that Subaru behind gets a little bit squirrely. Touched too much curb. Or he hit the sleeping policeman, the bright orange sausage curbs that we saw. Andrew's back up into P3, but he's in a hard battle with Tomas at the moment. So, and Emmanuel Lopez has fallen back quite a few places. So depending on where Andrew finishes, he could take third place in the championship. Gonna go on board with Andrew for this last lap. Andrew and Tomas having a good battle. This is the battle for P3 at the moment. They're both... Tomas is on the soft tires, Andrew's on the wet, so Tomas definitely has the advantage on the dry line. Forcing it up the inside. Andrew gonna give him the room. No. Pinches him off. Well done, Andrew. Hamilton corner. Down into Augie's corner. Really slow. Andrew doing a very good job of defending off Tomas. This is very well. He needs these points to get him to P3 in the championship. So Andrew going a little bit wide. Oh, it should be relatively easy for Tomas. Yeah. The extra grip of those soft tires on the dry line. Andrew having to go on the wet line. Very good drive. Couple more corners left. Yeah, Tomas is going to start driving away with P3 now. That's unfortunate. Andrew's going to close his gap to Emmanuel, though. Andrew's going to start pushing to try to catch Tomas, but I think it's going to be hard fought battle just because of the tire difference. See Andrew sticking to the wetness just to keep those tires cool. And it looks like they've upped it to, I want to say it looks like they've upped it to 14 laps like Howard said. All of these guys are still racing. It's definitely going to be Now drivers don't have to use the soft tires for next race. They can opt in to use the mediums, as technically the wet tires took option away. So but I think a lot of the guys are going to be using soft tires anyway. What's up, Howard? What's the news?
So there's they didn't really tell the guys because they added, of course, those 2 laps with that yellow flag, and everyone had chosen their fuel. There's a real danger here that some members of our race team may run out of fuel before the end of the race here.
Oh, I honestly totally forgot about that. When you get a 2-lap yellow flag, it automatically adds 2 laps to the race to make up for it. I totally forgot about that. I should know this because I do it for our NASCAR stuff all the time. So that is where the 2 extra laps came from, is the yellow flag. The full course yellow for 2 laps it replaces those 2 laps under yellow flag with 2 racing laps just to make up for it. So you actually race for 12 laps instead of racing for 10. But like Howard said, yeah, they all opted for 12 laps of fuel, and those 2 laps, even though you're going super slow and you're not at race pace, you're still using fuel. And that's going to hurt you huge. So it looks like Andrew's really going to be fuel saving now.
All of them are. The team is communicating, and they do all know. So all three drivers have been in communication with each other, and they are in a definite fuel saving. At the same time, you can't just pull back and let all those places go, right?
Mm-hmm,
So
exactly.
And I'm not sure how the other teams are managing it, because I know they all.
That take car sends it up, but just watching Emmanuel Lopez's race, because that take car almost took him out. That would have been great for Andrew's points. All right, we're on board with Jack here. Jack is in a battle for P10 at the moment. This is the last lap, so
because yeah.
This will be the finish. Emmanuel looks like he's finishing P6, and Andrew's gonna hopefully finish P4. He's got P5 hot on his heels. Not quite hot on his heels. He's got 2.5 second gap. So Andrew's got quite a bit of room there, about halfway down the lap. And Colin / Nick has held on to a solid P16. So all things considered, he's climbed his way back up.
Yeah, full fuel lights just went on as they crossed over the lap line. It's going to be cutting it very, very close.
A little bit tight. Well, it looks like the leader has just finished the race. P2 is the leader had a 30-second gap to P2 because he was on softs. He opted for the softs right at the bat just to be safe about it. But Jack here in P11, there's a good little fight. That TAG car, that looks like that car has run out of fuel. We've had one car run out of fuel already. Jack is up into P9 because of it.
Cars are starting.
It's all going to be about who can get across that line with fuel still in the tank. Looks like Andrew has made it in P3. Well done to Andrew. Jack's just coming around the last corner here. Come on, Jack, don't run out of fuel. Don't run out of fuel. This is a 9th place finish. This is his best finish in the BTCCs. Well done to Jack with a P9 finish. And here comes Nick / Colin. In a P12. Nick / Colin's going to get P12 at the end. All these people running out of fuel at the end of the race, and Nick / Colin gets P12. Oh, he's going to get... Looks like he might have got P11. I think Nick / Colin has finished P11. I did see that car in the pits cross the line at the same time, so technically it doesn't count. But I believe Colin / Nick has finished P11. And Jack getting a P9. Yeah, there's here come all the DNFs from all the people that ran out of fuel. Man, that was quite the race. It was very, very interesting to watch. I'm just gonna look and see if they've updated the point standings from the last race. Looks like they have not yet. So Tomas is really putting his time into worrying about the racing. However, so before the first race today, Andrew was 5 points down from Emmanuel. Andrew, I believe, finished third, which would have given him 15. And Emmanuel finished fourth, which would have given him 13, so that would have closed the gap by 2. And then he finished 2 spots ahead of Emmanuel, which would have given him an extra 5 points to close the gap. Let me just take a look here. So Andrew finishing P, so he would have closed the gap by another 4 points. So I do believe, if my math is correct, Andrew has taken P3 in the championship standings after race 2. But hopefully we get the points, finishes, and everything up before the end of the stream, so I can give that to you guys. I'm just going to be watching the chat, the chat here to see what the reverse grid is for race 3. As we all know, race 3 is reverse either top 6 or top 12. We don't know. They're doing it right now, so I'm gonna stay on board and see it. Hopefully it's not gonna be too much of a wait here, and then we're gonna go to a quick intermission. Actually, I'm going to go for a pit stop right now, guys. Go to a quick 6-minute intermission here, and we'll be right back, and I'll let you know what the reverse grid is for race 3.
Have you been locked up all year? Tired of the same old routine? We've got you covered at TRACKSVR. We have 12 full-motion simulators incorporating VR technology, put you in the driver's seat of a race car. With our team of sim experts, we can help guide you whether you're a beginner or a seasoned veteran. From Ferrari to AlphaTauri and all the teams in between, we've got the largest selection of F1 racing merchandise in Western Canada. We clean all the equipment before and after each use and disinfect all high touch points. Forget about the Zoom presentation on Monday. Forget about the holes in the wall for your kids' virtual soccer practice. Bring your future champions down here. We're open for retail viewing and product testing. We want to bring our passion for racing to you here at TRACKSVR.
Attention grid, all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back to race 3. We're getting ready to go here. So it looks like is reverse top 9, and Jack, for some reason, ended up finishing P10. I thought he finished P9 or P8, but I was apparently wrong. And Nick/Colin finished P12, not P11. So unfortunately, all is well. All 3 drivers are going to have a very good race. They're all feeling confident. They're all on soft tires. Andrew has 48 kilograms of extra weight added to his car. I really love that view. Nick/Colin has no weight added to their car, and Jack actually has 6 kilograms of weight added to his car because he's starting P10. So top 10 drivers have weight added to their car, ballast added to their cars. So other than that, looks like all of our drivers have gotten away clean. So Andrew started P7 because of the reverse top 9 and finishing P3, so he's up into P6 at the moment. Jack is in P10 and Nick/Colin's in P12. So far everybody's where they kind of started, and they've all kept it clean. So that's a good sign. See how Nick's doing. I had a good little chat with Nick after the race, and he was saying that he's got to learn to just stay away from these guys. I mean, Andrew said the same thing. They don't trust driving side by side with a lot of these drivers, so both of them are opting to try to stay as far away as they can from these drivers, just to make sure their race is nice and clean.
That was a cool shot of the pylons just flying off the track. These guys aren't nice to pylons. Are you a pylon bully?
Sometimes, depending on the track. If I'm really abusing the limits of the track or the corner limits.
I've never sent a single pylon off. No, that's a lie. I've sent lots of pylons off.
If you have not sent a pylon off in any kind of racing sim or racing game, I don't think you're doing it properly, in my honest opinion.
Going fast enough.
Yeah, not going fast enough. So looks like Nick/Colin's dropping off of this pack a little bit. He might be getting used to the car on dry because they've changed their setup completely, and they're on soft tires now. So he's just trying. He's actually doing pretty good. Jack is doing good in the background too.
I just heard something from Nick here, so I'm not sure what Nick/Colin. I'm not sure what's happened.
I don't know. It doesn't seem like, unless we have a lag from them, but it doesn't look like it. Unless he was getting tapped from behind. Oh, there's a big spin in front of Nick/Colin.
That's Thomas. Or no, that's Eshenko.
That would have been, yep, that would have been Mr. Eshenko himself. Why is my thing constantly freezing? Stop freezing on me, live timing. So Andrew up into P5, Jack up into P9. Oh, it looks like Nick/Colin must have got spun at some point.
Nick, those of you who know him, is not usually one for yelling, but I did hear a rather vociferous explanation of his feelings coming from out there.
It must not have been seen, or we had a leg spike in the middle of it or something, because he all of a sudden just lost 5 places on my live timing, so I don't know what happened there. Because it looked to us like nothing happened. Oh, one car going off in the pits. Must have some damage. That's going to be a free spot for... See, now he says he's back. I don't know. This live timing is foobarred all of a sudden. Jack up into P8 though. Let's. I really like this shot, so I'm not going to change it for a second. Oh, I've been riding on board with Andrew the whole time. That's why.
And Nick's falling back. Let's. I'm gonna go see if his car is done.
Looks like he's in the pit lane from live timing. Sorry guys, I was riding on board with Andrew. I pushed the wrong button, obviously, but here we are on board with Jack. I know that because the numbers are different. Jack is up into P7, so Jack having a wicked drive. Having that extra 6 kilograms of ballast is really helping him. Sorry, Howard, go ahead.
Nick's got a stop and go penalty, so that's why he pulled into the pits. I'm not sure what it came from and what incident it refers to, but yeah, Nick/Colin's going to have to do the recovery drive of his, of the day to gain some spots back. I hope this doesn't end his race.
Looks like he's back out of the pits now, so he's not a lap down yet. Which is good. He's not a lap down, which is good. But he's got a lot, and I mean a lot, of clean air in front of him. And then after he passes P22, he's got a lot of clean air in front of P22 to catch P21 and P20. So if Nick just drives his little heart out, I'm sure he will easily... Oh, as Tomas is trying to take people out by the looks of it. Jack doing a very good drive. Maybe that 6 kilograms of ballast has helped Jack out. Being able to control the car a little bit. I think the ballast in these cars gets put kind of at the back side somewhere. So it kind of plants the back end a little bit more. So having that extra weight can help sometimes. Nick/Colin is up into P22 now. We've had 2 DNFs. But like I said, Nick/Colin has a lot of breathing room in front of him. And he's about half a lap, about 2/3 of a lap down to P1. So he's...
Okay, so Nick/Colin actually had a drive-through penalty. So he stopped in the pits. It did not get rid of his drive-through penalty. So he's going to have to go back in to serve that before the race is over.
Oh no, that's not good to hear. Although I will say, after the last drive, he's still going to get driver of the day for me. Getting shunted, falling all the way back down to P23, and then making his way back up to P12. I'm going to give him that. That was a very good recovery drive in race 2. So we have Emmanuel Lopez is in the lead, and Andrew is 2.5 seconds behind him in second place. So if the race finishes that way, right now, if my math is correct, Andrew is ahead of Emmanuel Lopez in the standings by 1 point. If the race finishes this way, with Emmanuel Lopez in first and Andrew in second, that will change, and Emmanuel Lopez will be in third place by 2 points, or will have gained the position back on Andrew by 2 points. So it's going to be a very, very, very good race. Yeah, it looks like Nick/Colin is in slaffing. Oh my god, I can't talk. Is in the pit serving his drive-through penalty. So he will end up being a lap down, which he is now. Which is very unfortunate. He's at it. Actually, he stopped. I don't know if... because he was stopped in the pits. I don't know if he's just pulled the car in or what's going on. We'll have to wait for an update from Howard hopefully here. But Jack doing a very good job. He's in Jack is in P10. He's really fighting with the big boys now, but he's showing that he can.
Yeah, so Nick, like we said, Nick did get the drive-through penalty, and because he didn't serve it, he's been DC'd. So
Well, that's very, very unfortunate luck for Nick/Colin. I mean, he did have a phenomenal recovery drive in race 2, so I mean, we did get to see exactly what he can do. It's just unfortunate that on the dry situation where he would have shown a lot more, he gets screwed over by the game. I will say so.
Not sure what incident. We'll talk to Nick after the races and see if we can find out what happened there. We weren't following along. So for all those Nick/Colin fans out there, we know you're watching. You did put some really nice driving skill down on the racetrack today. Sometimes you don't win every race, though.
Yeah, that was very, very unfortunate. Update on Andrew, he's back in the P3. Yeah, do your thing, man. Andrew's in P3. He's got a good little tow from this little MG6. Remember, Andrew also has 48 kilograms of extra weight added to his car, so at that rule of 300s per kilogram, he's at about 2 seconds slower than what he normally would be. No, that doesn't sound right. About a second and a half slower than what he normally would be, so. Oh, a little bit of a slide from the MG6. That's going to give Andrew the opportunity to get past him. Where's Matt even? Ooh, the car right in front of Andrew there is actually right behind Andrew in the standings, so he wants to finish ahead of Andrew. They still have not updated it for today's races, but that's okay. Hopefully they do at the end. If not, we'll have the updates next week for you guys for round 5. Jack up into P9. Gonna ride on board with him for a bit. And he's got a little bit of breathing room, actually. He's got about a second and a half in front and a second behind, so that's Dennis Shashenko. That is actually the second place in the standings driver right behind Jack, so if Jack can hold him off, it'll give Andrew a points climb towards Dennis, which will be actually really nice. The leaders are just finishing lap 6, so we're halfway through this race. Jack's doing really, really well. Jack up into P8. Somebody must have spun or gone to the pits. Jack's going to have a wicked point haul. Oh, a little bit wide on the hairpin. It's going to give Dennis is going to have the better line. Jack's going to, yeah, blocks him off. This is second place in the point standings behind Jack, so Jack's doing his best to hold him off so Andrew can get more points towards him. I think Andrew is 15 points, or was 15 points behind Dennis. Was 15 points behind Dennis after round 3, so. Oh, Nick's gonna be commentating. I get guest commentator driver. So if you push it up, so see how that's unmute. That's mute. So if you push it up, you're unmuted right now, and then if you push it down, you're muted. So you're muted right now. If you push it up, you're unmuted. Nick is here.
I don't know how much commentary I can give right now, but
well, here first off, let us know what happened with your penalty. What gave you the penalty?
think after turn 1, we were kind of jostling towards turn 2 to the hairpin. He must have, I don't know. I was going smooth. I was on the racing line. I think he must have stabbed his brakes or something, knocked me off to the grass, and I think what I was trying to do is not completely spin out, so I took a really, really wide re-entry back to the pavement. I think that's what gave me the penalty.
Well, that kind of blows. That's the first one we've actually seen, other than Jack's in the first round, where he had a glitch where the game was like, yeah, not letting you on track, so you have to start from the pits, and then he gets a penalty for leaving pits into red, and then he gets a penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and it was just the first race of the series for Jack was not a fun one, but other than that, he came through and oh, it looks like we've had a DQ. Matthew Clip, the car that Andrew was battling with up for P2, has been disqualified. We haven't had that happen yet, so that's interesting. Huh.
Even worse than my penalty.
That's even worse than your penalty, yep. But that will actually hurt him a lot, because that'll drop him pretty far back from Tomas and Adam, who are both in the running or whatever. But wow, this has turned out to be a really weird week for racing. Snetterton's deciding to just be a weird one. But Jack doing very good. Jack's in P10, so where he started. The faster drivers starting to make their way through. Oh, big spin. Good job of Jack keeping on track. Very well done. Looked like that car was trying to outbrake Jack and outbroke himself. So he's going to lose 2 spots for that. And Jack's going to have a nice comfortable gap in P9 now. And the leaders, including Jack, have just started lap 9. So we got 3 laps left and race will be over. Jack, a little bit squirrely in turn 1. That was the coolest camera shot ever.
Yeah, so I guess after I got my penalty, I got hit from the back again at the final corner. I was going to go straight into the pits, but they gave me some damage, so I had to stop for a little bit of fixer-upper, and which I thought maybe my penalty would be served during the pit stop, but it didn't. It kept my penalty going, so I had to go in again. And at that point, I've already lost, 35 seconds each pit stop times 2, 70, plus you're going slow, so about a minute and a half, so I was a lap or so down. And with the damage that I had, it wasn't realistic to push on, and it'll probably be danger to everyone else too.
Yeah, that's a good call. I mean, shit happens, right?
Yeah.
You just would have think. I mean, that's a good point. Why didn't I let you serve the penalty when you pitted, right? Just stop you, do any work on the car like they do in F1. They stop you for 10 seconds, don't do the work.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden after 10 seconds they start doing the work. That would have made more sense, but penalty systems in R Factor 2 are kind of wonky sometimes. And it also depends on the mod, how the mod creators have modded them. Last week the track was Thruxton, and looks like Jack's got a big gap here, but so does Andrew. Last week the track was Thruxton, and there was Emmanuel Lopez had cut the same corner, abused it because the track limits weren't set properly by the mods, so he was able to throw the car 4 wheels off track around the corner and not get any penalties every lap. So the stewards actually had to go back and look at that corner for everybody, and like 12 different people got penalties in all 3 races just for that one corner. So
it's similar to some of the F1 tracks. Sometimes certain tracks and certain corners get dinged for everything, or everybody gets dinged at the same corner, and then you end up with a race. Usually there's no penalties for anybody, and then there's like 12 or 15 penalties in one race. Something's going weird.
Yeah, it's very very bizarre, but
Hey, if there's stewards here, I wouldn't mind the FIA looking at my crash there.
Hey man, that's what Jack and Andrew do after every race. They always go through the replay and see where they have to put in some steward inquiries. I know there's going to be a lot today from race 1 just for that. For race, was it race 1? No, race 2. It'll be race 2 just after the first corner. I guarantee there's going to be a lot of steward inquiries going in after that. So
The guy sideways on the straight. I don't know.
well, somebody had spun out before the first corner, before they even got to the first corner. Like they weren't even at the breaking point and they already spun out.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I had no chance to stop there, especially with the spray coming up.
you couldn't,
I couldn't see anything.
Right?
Yep.
Colin, Jiminy Christmas. Andrew doing a very good drive. He's got Tomas slowly nipping away a little bit at a time. But it looks like both drivers, Jack. Ooh, looks like Jack's starting to catch up a little bit to P8. This is, he's catching Vlad Tokarov, who is actually the points leader, I believe, in the standings. Oh, no, Denis Yashenko is the points leader. After all the penalties and stuff that were after the last round, Vlad Tokarov is actually in second place. Denis Yashenko is the points leader currently. So Jack could potentially be catching second place in the standings just to keep them from getting extra points, allowing Andrew to catch up more. So good weekend for the team, we'll say that. Or week for the team. Everything's really spread out. All the top 10 cars, the smallest gap is like 2 seconds between the cars. It's all the gaps are so big. There's like no racing up front. Yashenko's starting to catch Adam Smith a little bit. Tomas, where's Andrew? Yeah, there's Tomas in the background, so Andrew. Ooh. Yeah, Andrew's keeping the gap to Emmanuel about 5 seconds and keeping the gap to Tomas about 3 to 3.5 seconds. So I think it's just a game. Everybody's going on to their last lap now. It's been a pretty boring race considering.
Boring is good sometimes.
That's true.
Being safe and you're in good place.
Yes.
But Andrew did warn me about these drivers on this particular league. Tend to be quite pushy and a little crashy. So maybe it's a little bit my fault for sticking around with them too closely.
You gotta put the elbows out a little bit. I'm surprised that blue flag actually was a good blue flag. That's not normal for this league. Normally the blue flags are very horrendous and don't let anybody through. Or they take out the points or the race leader. Like we saw at Thruxton. Tomas, I will tell you right now, Tomas was not happy in the Discord chat at all. The only thing he said was, don't talk to me. I don't want to talk right now. So that just goes to show he was leading the entire race and gets taken out by the last place back marker because he tried to let him through and broke hard on a straight and turned back into counter steer against whatever happened and crashed into Tomas and took him right out. So looks like we've had another DNF. So we're at 4 DNFs, and a DQ. So, but we're just coming up to the end of lap 12. Yeah, you're still technically on the track, but you're a DNF because you didn't come out of the pit lane. You haven't shut down the server yet, so. And one person went out on wet tires. I didn't even notice that. One person on mediums and one person on wets. The person that started on pole started on medium tires when everybody started on softs. I don't know why they would start on mediums. But
yeah, this is how new I am to this league. I don't even know what button to get out of the server yet. I'm still stuck in the pits.
Oh, because using the new UI, that's why.
Yeah.
You just got to hit the arrow up in the top left corner.
Well, no, it did. I don't know. It didn't work.
It didn't work. Well done. All right, so we have Andrew finishing P2, Tomas finishing P3, Emmanuel Lopez finishing P1. I'm just giving the points guys that Andrew's racing with. Denis Ishenko finished P7, Vlad Tokarov finished P8, and Jack finished P9. So Jack had a good race. As we all do some donuts and the hairpin. Is Jack gonna full send it? Oh no, he's gonna join Andrew, I think. Yeah. Do a little Formula Drift around the corner. Very well done from both drivers. That's going to be a good points haul for Andrew and Jack today. That's going to be very, 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 very good points. Let's see if I can do this. No, not that one. That one. Both drivers here hanging out. Where's my zoom in, zoom out? There we go. Zoom in, zoom out. Andrew and Jack hanging out, chilling, rolling down their windows. Very well done from all three drivers. Nick / Colin today unfortunately had some unfortunate luck in race 3, had a wicked recovery drive in race 2, and was just getting his bearings in race 1. So although next race will be different, we'll get in and show these guys. It's Donington Park, which these guys actually kind of know a little bit more. Snetterton was their first time, all their first time driving this track. So very well done from all three drivers. Hopefully, if they can get the standings updated before the end of the stream, I'll let you guys know. But if not, I'll let you know where the standings lead. Because it's going to be very tight between the top 5, I think, in points. Top 3 for sure, top 5 maybe. But other than that, since I got Nick here, we're gonna let him do his quick interview first. We already heard about the penalty. Just let us know your thoughts on the first 2 races that you actually got to finish.
Well, I'm glad I got to finish them now that I'm sitting here at the 3rd race. No, the first race is really rainy for its first race. So when we did our practicing, I mean, I really only got to practice one night. That was all on dry, so it was quite the shock, really, to show up. And now I gotta use different tire, different setup, and all your braking points changes. So before the actual race today, we only had about 15 minutes to get used to the new braking points, your new grip, and then where your vision changes too is how far you could see through the track. So you gotta make all those adjustments, and then next thing you know, we're in qualifying. I think just from judging my average lap time, I knew I was gonna be right in the middle, or in the mid pack, which I did. I think I qualified 12th or 13th.
Just
somewhere around
behind
there.
of Jack. So.
But yeah, that was kind of expected. But throughout the race, I knew as soon as there's wet track, it's gonna be chaos. There's gonna be people dancing all over the place, so I just gotta try and stay out of the crashing. It worked for the most part, I think. But getting hit from behind is a little bit hard to control. When they lose grip and they lock up and they come right in your back and tend to spin out a bit. So I think that one I recovered still. Ended up in
You finished
13th,
right behind Jack in race 1.
Yeah, so I think I qualified 12th or 11th back, and then so finished the race 13th. So really a lot of work for no gain, no loss. Really, it was really fun though. Near the end of race 1, it started to dry up. So I think race 2 we were in between. We had a few minutes. We discussed about whether we should
Have you been
use
locked up
stick
all
with the
year?
wet tires or
Tired of the same old
dry.
routine? We've got you covered at TRACKSVR.
Race 2. I think it worked for the most part. I think Andrew was still still came in third, so he was still pretty fast. But near the end of race 2, it was starting to dry up, and the wets were overheating a bit, and I started losing grip. But yeah, race 2 again, I got spun out a couple times too, and like you said, it was a bit of a recovery effort. I think at one point I was down to 23rd.
23rd, yeah.
And then, but I knew if those guys keep driving the way they are, I knew I just had to put my head down and let them spin around me. Sure enough, I think last lap I was still 14th place or 13th place. And then last corner, the guy in front of me spun out. I'm like, well, thank you, I'll take that one. So again, all that work, and then right back in the middle. So kind of where I expected to be. So yeah, it was fun. Race 3, I've already talked about it. It's mainly just the crashing in the first couple laps, and then the penalties. But yeah, just lots of lessons to be learned from myself, or for myself, and recognize which cars are more aggressive, which ones I could actually have a good, nice, close race with. Yeah, overall, I don't know. I think next time it's gonna be Colin's back. So, but I look forward to any other leagues that we enter. That will be fun. And shout out to all my work friends and my manager and everybody. They've been very supportive to allow me to take some time aside to come support you guys, because you guys were kind of short staff. Well, not short staff, short driver. But yeah, everybody support everybody else.
That's actually very well said. Yeah, everybody needs to support everybody, right? Like, can't just get on all on our own. So, but yeah, thanks for coming in and racing for Colin. Technically, the event organizers don't know you were racing for Colin, but other than that, you can't tell a difference. I mean, we called you Colin divided by pi because you're that much shorter than Colin is. So.
Well, I should have been faster then, because I should weigh less.
Technically, that's true. But no, you did good today, dude. Like I said, you get my driver of the day for just your recovery drive in race 2. That was absolutely phenomenal. Yep. Any final words you'd like to say before you get going and we get Andrew and Jack in here to do their interview?
I don't know who. I guess we can't really tell who's exactly watching. I know there's a few people that were watching today for myself. But anyone else out there that's listening, you could see how fun this is, and this is a great venue. It's new. We're building it. It's constantly newer ideas coming up for more fun, interactive activities all throughout the week. And we're glad that all the restrictions gone, and we've been following the lockdown restrictions anyways. Like, so it's nice and clean here. Always fun people here. If you like to drive, you like to watch people race, or any kind of motorsports, check it out. Families and friends, spread the word. Really fun, safe activity for all ages.
Awesome, thanks, Nick. That was actually a really good shout. I really enjoyed that. Awesome. Howard's just giving me an update that we sold a hat, so we're all happy. I'm just gonna give you guys, they did update the points quickly. It will probably change depending on penalties and stuff come next week, but right now Andrew has taken second place. So he moved up 2 places in the point standings. Dennis obviously having not a very good race in the last one, or in race 3 today, so not getting very many points. And Emmanuel Lopez, apparently the points finish, I was wrong. He lost 9 points to Andrew and then gained 3 back. So he's only a point behind Andrew right now. So it's going to be a good battle for second place. First might be pretty much gone, but I mean, there's 2 rounds left, which is 6 races, lots of time to get points. Nick/Colin still in 10th. And Jack moving up to P17. So Jack now in the top 20. He went from 21st to 17th. So very good on Jack. We got Andrew here. I think Andrew wants to do an interview. He looks all hyped up and ready to go, especially after I tell him where he's standing in the points, unless he heard me before he walked in the room. All right, Andrew, give us your thoughts on all the races today, dude.
Yeah, hey Rick. Yeah, it was that's how you kind of draw it up, right? 3 races, 3 podiums. Yeah, so that's pretty good. And yeah, I see you're just showing me on the screen here. P2 in the championship by 1 point as it stands. Yeah, but no, that's exactly what I wanted to do. After race 1, I was like 11th in the championship, and now P2. Yeah. No, in race 1 of the season, Rick, is after Silverstone, that was only P11. So yeah, no, this is exactly how I wanted it to go. You have to be very judicial in how you drove today, because the changing conditions, even on a dry circuit, Snetterton, it's very tight, technical, very easy to make a mistake, very easy to have contact and spin out DNF. So yeah, that was a really good one today.
Yeah, it was great. Give me your thoughts on race 2 with the full course yellow. I know everybody was kind of concerned about fuel, and at the end we saw 3 drivers just die on track because they had no fuel left. So give us your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think it was Jack who brought it up. We have our Discord, so we can talk to each other. We keep it only for essential conversations, obviously, but like Jack was the first that brought it up, which was good thinking on his part, because I didn't even think about it actually. Because for those that don't know, like when the safety car comes out, at least in this rule set, it basically pauses the race, so it doesn't add any more. It doesn't complete any more laps of the race. So so what I mean by that is if like a safety car comes out on lap 4 and we do 2 laps under the safety car and then go green flag, it's still lap 4 of the race, but then you would have done 2 extra laps of fuel used up, right? So that's why some of the people ran out near the end. I think I finished with half a liter. I like to be a little bit safe. I give myself a little wiggle room there, and paid off, I guess, for the whole team.
Yeah, Howard came in and told me that you guys were mentioning fuel and all that stuff, and then I started thinking, I was like, oh yeah, crap, that's not a good sign. Then we started the last lap, I just started watching cars just die, pull off the side, just die, and there was 3 DNFs, I think, at the end because of fuel. So very good drive today. That's 2 thirds and a 2nd place, so very good drive. You're easily the most consistent driver on the grid so far.
Yep, and that's how you win championships in this type of league.
Basically,
consistency.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that's
Go ahead. No, sorry.
Yeah, that's I'm just looking at the screen here. So that's it looks like that's my 2nd hat trick of podiums. The other one being Olden Park in the wet as well. So I guess I like it wet and wild, eh?
Oh, for sure. So if we just tell the mods to make every race wet, Andrew will be golden. He'll be loving it because everybody else doesn't want to drive in the wet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any final thoughts? Any final words? Any thoughts on next week going to Donington?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the season standings right now. Looks like I'm on a 4 race podium streak. So yeah, we'll just keep doing that for the rest of the season, and we'll be good.
Awesome. Thanks for your time, dude. Good racing today. Is very fun to. I mean, the first 2 races were fun to watch. The 3rd race was kind of boring for everybody because everybody was the closest gap between any car in the top 10 was 2 seconds. So watching it was like just watching cars hot lap. It was boring.
Oh, trust me, I appreciated a boring race after the first 2.
Oh,
it was a little too exciting for my taste. Yeah, no, thanks Rick for all your hard work. Thanks very much. I'll see you next week.
No problem, dude. See you next week. Congrats today. Looks like I got Jack lined up. It's awesome. I got drivers just lined up today for interviews. This is great. I don't know if Jack heard me as to where he's in the standings now, but he's got some good points for himself. So Jack has actually moved up into P17 from P21. So he's really pulled a lot of places up for himself. Oh, P16. Oh, look at that. But like I said, this is probably going to change a lot after the penalties and stuff get applied.
Maybe I can.
You might have to unmute yourself too. I don't know. But yeah, there's always penalties after each round. They don't get applied till like 2 days before the next round does. So I won't know, Jack won't know until like 2 days before we go to Donington Park, and they'll update everybody on the stream on that day. But give us your thoughts on the races, how they went for you, because you did good, all three.
First race was crazy wet and could not see a thing. So I was just trying to, I think I qualified in like 16th or 17th, nothing too good, but I was able to snag some positions off the start and just, try and keep out of trouble as much as possible. I did get in a little bit of trouble, but not trouble, but there was some clashing and stuff in that first race. But mostly uneventful, as I just kind of cruised to a 12th place finish, and he's got 4 points. So the first race was pretty good. It was nice. I probably could have gotten a couple more positions, but I was still kind of figuring out the pace, especially in the wet. The car handled so much differently. And I had to adjust my line, my braking, my steering, my acceleration out of the corners. I had to adjust pretty much everything, and didn't do any practice in the rain before this morning, so that was a bit of a challenge. But the first race went well. Second race, of course, we all know from hearing from Andrew and Nick, I'm sure, that into the first corner, coming out of it, the first corner, there was a big crash.
We caught the whole thing on stream, dude.
Oh gosh, yeah. See, I got caught up, as you would have seen, quite big time in that. I was coming around. The spray is so bad, you can literally see maybe 10 meters in front of you, right? So I see a crash and I start slowing down, and all of a sudden there's a car sideways dead center in the track, and had nowhere to dodge him, so I hit him, and I'm pretty sure my fucking my freaking back end went up after I hit them, and I was a little bit unhappy about that, but I actually managed to get away pretty unscathed from that. And as soon as the safety car kicked in, I was not in a bad position. I think I was in P16 in the safety car, and then P14. Okay. And people were falling off the track in front of me, seemingly, during the safety car session. I'm not sure what was going on with that. Generally, you're not supposed to overtake in front of the safety car, but if someone goes off track, I mean, it's free real estate at that point, right? It's I'm allowed to just take that because they're not on track. So I got a couple positions by doing that, and then safety car ended, and I just tried to keep it clean till the end and keep pulling time, and finished with a 10th place finish, which, considering the crash in the first lap, was very pleasing. I mean, especially to 26 drivers, right? I'm finishing in the top like 40% of them. Nice place to finish, and I'm competing. A lot of the guys, they would come up behind me. Obviously, had a lot more pace, so I wouldn't try and fight them too hard. In the second race, though, I did get into a bit of a clash, a tangle at the end of the Bentley straight there. That's that second straight coming into the left, higher speed left, and then a really slow right, that really tight one. Someone tried to throw it up my inside, and it's just they started understeering and hit my line essentially. Right, I had nowhere to go, so they were kind of in front of me as we entered the corner, and I started turning in, and he did not turn in enough, so my car front left bumper hits his rear right side bumper and took him for a spin. And it was just like, I'm sorry, but there's not much I can do there, right? It's especially throwing it up the inside on a corner like that, you want to make sure that you're going to be able to. He was on the wet side, which is probably why he understeered there, right? I was on the dry side, so I didn't have any issues taking my line to the corner, but it seems like he fell off his. But yeah, to finish 10th after that is very nice. We'll see where everything settles up after penalties and stuff. Hopefully nothing too bad. Third race was much better now that it had dried out a little bit. I could see the sun, I could see the cars in front of me. Spray wasn't so bad, I had soft tires, just a plethora of things. And I started 10th, I believe, in that third race.
and finished 9th. So I went up 1 position. I got a couple of positions off the start. Was up in 8th, 7th for a little bit, and then some guys with a bit more pace came up behind me, and I didn't try and fight them too hard. One of them actually gave me a little thank you honk as he passed for moving over, pretty much, because it's just like, he got such a better exit out of the corner. There's no point in me trying to weave and fight him and just be ridiculous like that, right? I understood kind of where I was pace-wise and just tried to keep holding that, right, and maintain the gap as much as I can, right? I see them catching me and just kind of try and monitor that, right? If they're catching me super fast, I'll try and hold them up if I can, but unless it's the last couple laps, there's no point in me trying to fight and lose a bunch of time, right? And they'll also lose time and be angry by the time they pass me. So it's just picking your battles essentially. But no, that third race, I think that's my best finish so far, a 9th place finish. Snagged 7 points, so super happy about that. That's a nice jump for me in the standings, and that takes me up to 16th place at the moment. We'll see where I settle once all the penalties start coming in, but for the time being, I'm quite happy with that.
Oh, excuse me. Yes, that you did a very good job this weekend. You improved every race. Second race for you and Nick/Colin was easily the best race ever. Both of you having some good recovery drives. So it was very good to watch. Andrew was kind of in no man's land for all 3 races, so there wasn't much to watch of him. We just went on board for a couple laps just to see how he was doing. And then we focused on the 2 of you, knowing that you guys both had fans really watching hard. So next time, hopefully, if Andrew gets some good racing in, we'll be on board with him a little bit more. But given the battles where we want them, we don't want to be away from the possible battles that you and Nick/Colin were in. So, but very good drive today. Congrats on the points. Congrats on the standings. You're slowly but surely moving up. You still got 6 more races left, 2 more rounds. You'll be top 15, I'm sure. Possibly top 10 by the end. We just got to keep pushing forward and hope for the best. So, any final words before we peace out?
No, thanks to everyone for watching. I know Nick with the Colin mask on had some people watching today, so hello to all those people at WestJet, I believe, and thank you guys for watching. Hopefully we could provide some entertainment, and yeah, thanks everyone for watching. I'm quite happy with the races today. I can really see my progression. I wish they just did some, like in the hockey season, they do those joke games that don't count for points. I wish we could do a couple of those, because it seems like I take a couple races to pick the car up, but once I do, I have some pretty good pace and can compete with usually the middle top kind of guys. So it's nice that I'm up there now and competing for top 10s. Trying to get up into the points as much as I can.
Well said, dude. Congrats. We'll see you next week. Howard, we got some final words to say from Howard, and then I'll give my spiel, and then we'll peace out for the day and let you guys be on your way. And we'll see you guys all next week around 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for race round 5 at Donington Park. So Howard, last words, dude.
I did want to say thank you to our sponsors once again. F40's podcast. You guys are the best. We love you. Big thank you to Nick Tote today. Nick/Colin put in a really good race, and he definitely gave it his all, and stepping in with lots of experience / no experience. Did really well, and yeah, just thank you to the whole crew. Again, thank you to our stream wizard, Rick. Dude, we love you here at TRACKSVR. Keep doing the good work that you do, and you're really filling into your streaming shoes. And what's wrong with me? I'm not sure. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope we see you back next time. Again, remember to follow, like, and share. As the boys have told me to remember to say that all the time. And of course, the biggest thing is if you are in somewhere in Canada, come see us here in Calgary. We are at the corner just off of Blackfoot, 65 Manitou Road, Southeast Calgary, Alberta, Canada, Earth. So fellow Earthlings, we love you all. Have a great week.
Well said, Howard. Thank you again so much for that notebook. That is awesome, totally unexpected. And yes, easily my favorite logo on the entire F1 grid. And it will definitely get some use, especially for streams when I get my notes and stuff for each track. Thanks again to the F140s podcast, as Howard said. Great bunch of people every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time at the Blind Beggar. So if you're in Calgary, head on down. They got live music and stuff down there. Booze, all that good stuff that everybody likes to have all together. Other than that, guys, thanks so much for watching. We really love having everybody here. Don't forget to tell people. If you know people that are into racing and stuff like that, tell them come down and watch. We'd love to have a lot more people watching. We'd love to have some interaction with our chat. So when you guys are watching, definitely chat us up. I always have it open all the time, so I can comment or reply or whatever to any questions you guys have. But please definitely watch. Thanks to Nick Toe for wearing his Colin mask today. Congrats to Jack and Andrew both for having Jack for having his best finish yet so far, and Andrew for taking P2 in the Drivers' Championship. Actually, it looks like it's going to be P4 now after we updated the board. So it looks like they're kind of confused as to where all the points were. We'll give you a complete updated list next week. So don't forget to stop by, set your calendars, like, comment, hit that subscribe button and notification icon on Facebook on YouTube to be notified when we are going live. And we'll see you guys next week, 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time at Donington Park, where Andrew, Jack, and Colin will be kicking some more ass. So stay tuned, and we'll see you then.